Hi, I'm Lisa Eddy, your host of the Sacred Beauty Lifestyle Podcast. I'm so glad that you've made your way here and that I'm now sharing these podcasts here on YouTube. In my 25 years in the beauty industry, I have worked with thousands of women. I have witnessed so many beautiful, powerful, smart, and kind women who are hiding instead of shining. My mission is to empower you to own your true power and beauty inside and out, to be truly confident and shine through your skin. Lord knows the world needs your light. I'm committed to helping you understand the choices that you are making that are working for or against you. I'll also be sharing beauty tips and tools your mother never taught you, and together we will bust urban beauty myths. Make sure to subscribe today to receive episodes right when they are released. For those who prefer listening to the audio podcast, head over to sacredbeautylifestyle.com. That's sacredbeautylifestyle.com, and you can find the platform of your choice. Enjoy. Hello, and welcome to another solo episode of the Sacred Beauty Lifestyle Podcast. In today's episode, I will be sharing a topic I am super passionate about: skin foods, what to eat to radiate beauty, because what you eat directly affects your beauty. Today, I'll be sharing 7 foods that will help you radiate beauty through your skin. Before we delve into the details of this juicy topic, I'd like to share a little bit about my history and why you should listen to me about the effects that food has on your skin. My passion for nutrition runs deep and long. It started when I was very young. In fact, this is likely the result of my parents not being very nutrition or health conscious at all. I remember my mother eating her feelings. My parents would be fighting often, and she would go to the donut shop and purchase like a dozen eclairs, not joking, and she would sit in the car and eat the eclairs until she basically made herself sick as a way to cope with all of her stress and trauma. My father was a major smoker for years. I would say also a coffee addict. And when my dad finally quit, which was so surprising and such a big deal, he then shifted into sugar addiction. That happens often. We change one addiction for another. Anyway, so fast forward to my father's sugar addiction. God bless him. He passed away almost a few years ago now, but his wife did tell me that towards the end of his life, she would wake up in the middle of the night and she would find wrappers, candy wrappers all over the house. He would get up in the middle of the night and just down candy. And in fact, he was so sick at one point that he thought he had the flu, and they went to the emergency room, and it turned out that he had had so much sugar that it had leached the calcium from his bones. And that's why he was so weak. Isn't that insane what we can do to ourselves sometimes? Anyhow, I think this really propelled me into going the opposite direction, seeing my parents' behavior around food and these addictions, and really seeking wellness. Though there's always been this innate pull towards wellness habits and foods that feels very natural to me, I'm sure that their behavior impacted me for the good in this case. At the age of 19 and 20, I hired a personal trainer and a nutritionist, which was about 30 years ago now, way before wellness was the mainstay that it is today. So fast forward to me starting my aesthetics career at the age of 24. So that's close to 26 now. I'm going on my 26th year. Wow. So this really deepened my passion for nutrition, because when I was working with people's skin, I started to see the correlation rather quickly between what people were eating and what I was seeing on their skin. And I learned to develop skills where I could tell if somebody was dehydrated right away, or demineralized, or devitalized, or, malnourished, and that would show up in their skin. And this doesn't even include the rashes or, the other things that would come out the skin in the form of acne or rashes or eczema or rosacea or psoriasis. So I really began to delve deep and study. I took some general nutrition classes at a local college, read any article I could get my hands on, listened to numerous doctors on nutrition. In fact, I married a natural doctor. So, yes, incredibly passionate and seasoned around this. Many of my friends are nutritionists, acupuncturists, chiropractors in wellness, body work, you name it. So it is my life. And I love sharing this information because there's so much misinformation out there. I mean, heck, even our MDs in this country don't have to study nutrition, which is incredibly infuriating and saddening at once. I know that eating right is so impactful, and we really have a lot more control than we think, though. Unfortunately, because natural food is so expensive, but not everyone does have their hands on it. So that also is saddening, and I hope that we see some changes in this area soon. I wanted you to understand before I shared this with you why I know a lot about this piece and want to share it with you. Disclaimer, of course, you need to consider what is good for your dosha or your constitution or your blood type or however you look at it. If you know you have any particular allergies or sensitivities, then you most certainly definitely want to avoid those foods, even if I am recommending them as often as you can, because if you can't heal, if we are continuously having a food that we have an allergy to or a sensitivity to, you really can't heal. It's like ripping a wound off a scab over and over and over. Okay, so really being thoughtful about allergies and sensitivities play a huge role. If you have sensitivities, that can cause bloating and puffy eyes and slugginess and a general lack of vibrancy, I would say. And I would also say a general lack of vibrancy, which would make you not feel like the most radiant, beautiful version of yourself, which is not what we're going for. I also want to make sure at the start of this that I give props and reference Dr. Perricone. Having been an esthetician for 25 years, in my early days of practicing skincare, his skin and nutrition connection was revolutionary and incredibly impactful. I must say his skincare products do not meet my standards, so I do need to make that disclaimer, as they are not super active because it's not a professional line. Anyone can get them kind of like an over-the-counter product. So I just wanted to say that. Well, I really value what he has shared and stood for regarding skin and nutrition. And even the way that he is not a proponent of getting Botox or fillers, that he believes we can do this naturally, I really also love. And he is a board certified dermatologist, a certified nutrition specialist, and a master of American College of Nutrition. So he definitely has the credentials there. In addition, I want to be clear, this not only means eating more foods that are suggested, it also means skipping the inflammatory foods such as processed meats, refined carbs, and crackers, white rice, and breads, as well as sugary foods and drinks. Even dairy can cause mucus, which can cause clogging in your body and your skin, meaning constipation. That's a whole other topic. Also, clogged pores and just a sluggishness. In addition, what people often don't realize is that mucus is stored and becomes a breeding ground for the bad bacteria that we don't want from excess sugar. So I wanted to share all of this with you so that you can make an educated choice when adding in these foods and making sure that you are eliminating the foods and considering your personal makeup and needs. What I am suggesting here is that when you want to look and feel your most radiant, whether on video, for an event. It could even be your wedding or a friend's wedding or a family reunion, or even just in your everyday life. These tips will definitely help you radiate and enhance and preserve your natural beauty overall. If this is for a special event, please note that you do want to follow these tips at least 3 days leading up to the event. That will give time for the impact to occur. Okay, food number 1 to radiate through your skin. Blueberries. All of the berries in general are better choices in fruit, typically because they're a low glycemic index, meaning they're not really loaded with sugar like a lot of fruit can be. These are commonly referenced as healthy foods because they are loaded with antioxidants. If you even look at the rich, dark pigment of a blueberry, that speaks to the power of the antioxidant called anthocyanins. That word has always been a tricky one for me, and I think I got it. Anthocyanins slow down the signs of aging. They moderate inflammation and protect against sun damage. Anthocyanins also provide protection from stress and pollution, as well as supporting collagen production. So, yes, please. Also, since we do reduce the ability to make collagen by the end of our 20s, anything natural like this that can help us in supporting collagen is a added bonus, a needed lift, if you will. So blueberries also have a high oxygen radical absorbance capacity, ORAC, and this measurement is used to evaluate the antioxidant level of various foods. So due to the blueberries' high ORAC score, this basically means their level of antioxidants has the ability to neutralize substantial levels of free radicals. Just as rust degrades and oxidizes metals, free radicals damage healthy cells. It's kind of a good way to think about it, and reduce skin's radiant glow. So through reducing and neutralizing the effects of the free radicals, antioxidants also contribute to maintaining hydration and reducing inflammation. So a diet high in blueberries can do so much for you. In addition, it can also improve health, heart, and circulation, which is a key to achieving healthy skin. A healthy heart and circulatory system pump blood throughout the body to deliver oxygen and nutrients to cells while removing waste along the way. So that's a very important job in the beautification. Our skin needs these nutrients and oxygen to help repair and heal damage caused by environmental stressors. There's so much pollution in the air. There's so much that we're dealing with that our ancestors did not deal with. So, in addition, when blueberries are incorporated in your diet, this can provide a necessary tool to support the body's regeneration and repair damage. The nutrients found in blueberries also help with skin inflammation related to eczema and psoriasis, which is actually a bigger problem than people realize. I know many people suffer from this. So, just FYI, the reason why I put blueberries as the number 1 food on this topic is because of the high impact they have. Okay, food number 2 to radiate beauty is cucumbers. Cucumbers are magical. They are 96% water, incredibly hydrating. They have high concentrations of vitamin C. They have fiber and folic acid in cucumbers, which also helps support the gut by reducing inflammation. Inflammation is the key issue with all disease and aging. In addition, cucumbers are a natural diuretic, which helps get rid of excess fluid. Think puffiness, water retention, right? In addition, they are a good source of silica, which aids in the growth and maintenance of connective tissue in the body. So cucumbers are a great addition for radiating beauty. Okay, food number 3 to radiate beauty is fatty fish. Sorry to my vegans here or vegetarians who are not eating fish. I had to add this in because there are people that still do like to eat fish. I do on occasion, and that it has so much value for our skin and our cells. Fatty fish, in particular, such as salmon, are incredibly good for us. DMAE is a substance found in oily fish. It acts as a cognitive enhancer and a building block for neurotransmitter acetylcholine, which supports muscle tone in both face and body. 3 days is what you're going to want to allow for this skin saving antioxidant to take place. Like I was made that disclaimer earlier. This is where it's really important. You need a little bit of time to see the benefits here. So make sure that if you are planning on looking really radiant for an event, this is key. Astaxanthin found in salmon and the essential omega fatty acids work to really do plumping magic for your skin. Okay, food number 4 to radiate beauty. Greens, leafy greens of every sort. Greens actually have twice the antioxidants of red wine, though you don't hear that. Marketing perhaps? Maybe there's a lot more money to be made on wine than on vegetables. Just saying. Okay, so these are incredibly beautifying. Also, bonus tip, the more bitter, the more beta. So that reminds me of Odwalla. Do you remember the Odwalla days? Mo beta. I used to drink too much juice and sugar back then before I knew what I was doing when I was first learning about nutrition, actually. Many of us did, I think, back in those days, like 20 something years ago. That was a total side note. The green pigment in veggies, known as chlorophyll, is a powerful anti-inflammatory agent. There's evidence to suggest that eating a lot of chlorophyll can actually help inflammatory skin conditions. So that is really helpful if you suffer from rosacea, eczema, or psoriasis, like I was mentioning earlier. Okay. Even dry, itchy skin, I would say that would be really helpful for as well. Spinach is a skin plumper. I'm just pulling out a couple of particular veggies to give you some pointers on some really great value, power packed, nutrient dense greens. But again, greens, all the greens. Okay. Spinach is a skin plumper. Folate, otherwise known as B9, is vital for the synthesis of amino acids. These are the protein building blocks we need to keep our skin plump, resilient, and strong well into later life. Spinach is a bioavailable source of this beautifying vitamin B, which is huge. That's another topic again, but some of the vitamins that people are taking are not really available or not really able to be received by our body. Okay, another side tip of how I like to use spinach. I like to add spinach to a berry smoothie in the morning or to a breakfast omelet. If you are thinking you wanted to add that in, that's how I do it. Another great, really fabulous food, or green rather, for radiant looking skin is kale. Kale is one of the most nutrient dense vegetables on the planet. In just 1 cup of kale, we have 684% of our daily vitamin K, 206% of our daily vitamin A, and 134% of our daily vitamin C intake. Okay. FYI, vitamin K is known to protect our bones and support healthy circulation by strengthening capillary walls. Your capillaries play a major role in a healthy complexion because they deliver fresh oxygenated blood and nutrients to your skin cells in need of some TLC. Okay, food numero 5, aka number 5, is nuts. Nuts are such a great source of protein and fat. Some of the healthiest choices are almonds, walnuts, and pecans. And eating higher amounts of protein not only helps build protein because it takes protein to build protein, but they are also such a satisfying snack because they are so dense and satiating. So when you have enough protein in your diet, you can also help reduce sugar cravings because you're not looking for that quick fix. Isn't that cool? So if you find that you crave a lot of sugar, switching to berries, the darker berries I was speaking about earlier, to reduce that sugar and get your body out of the habit of having so much sugar, and increasing protein could be a helpful trick for you. All while beautifying your skin. Okay, nuts are also a part of the blue zone diet. That's why I wanted to include nuts separately, because the next category, they can almost go together, and you'll see what I mean in just a moment. But I'm not sure if you're familiar, if you've not heard of the blue zone regions on the planet. There are a handful of them where people around the globe in these particular spots are some of the healthiest people on earth. They not only age beautifully, physically, mentally, in every way, they are onto something. And so we look at what they eat to learn from them. And this is one of the things that is highly common in all of the blue zone areas are nuts. Okay. So a handful of nuts every day adds 2 years to your life expectancy. Food number 6 for radiating beauty are good fats from healthy oils. I had to make this their own category specifically because I want to speak about oils here. Deeply, deeply nourishing and plumping oils can be for us. They're hydrating your tissues and basically lubing us up from the inside out. Olive oil is a staple, right? I mean, so many of us are using that for our dressings or, even pastas or different things, right? And even flavoring. Like I learned this somewhere along the way. Like I would put it into a soup or something on top for flavor. We also need oils that are good for high heat. So olive oil should be a staple in anyone's diet for a good, healthy fat and a great oil to have in your cupboard. However, not just olive oil should be utilized for cooking. We also need to have oils that were good with high heat, like avocado and coconut. This is really important because if we're heating an oil like olive oil, that could actually be problematic. If we have it on too high of a heat, we're actually changing the structure of the oil and can make it unhealthy for us. So really, really important. And another very important tip is to keep the lids to your oil on tight so that they are not going rancid in your cupboard. Also, you might want to do a little cupboard check and check the dates and maybe even smell your oils to make sure that not only are they not expired, but they don't smell rancid. Because if you haven't had them stored properly, if they're right above the stove and they're getting the heat activation all of the time, or they are expired, they usually will smell rancid. And if you're not familiar, maybe start smelling your oil when it's fresh so you'll know what it's like when it is rancid. Okay, it's really important to note that. And if it's questionable, I would say maybe just get rid of it if you're not sure. And then again, get in the habit of smelling them so you know moving forward. Last but certainly not least, I had to make food number 7 for radiating beauty: water. I know it's not a food, but hear me out on this. Water is going to take up space because it is everything. If you follow me at all, you know I'm obsessed with water, and not just any water, good water. I can get into this somewhere else later. I do often in social media and such. But the reason why this is so important is that most people are chronically dehydrated, which is why I cannot stress this enough. Your body's working too hard when you're chronically dehydrated. You're not moving out the waste properly, which is not beautifying. And when your skin looks dehydrated, it's not as radiant. Okay. So water is really a key component to radiating through your skin. I will say, again, not all water is created equal. When I said good water, if you are traveling and need to purchase bottled water, like a plastic bottle, I typically wouldn't recommend this on the daily. However, if you're in a pinch, I want to let you know that a good water to purchase is Fiji. Fiji is a great choice for a couple of reasons. If you look at the density, the thickness of the plastic, it is a lot thicker than a lot of those other basic water companies on the market. And what is great about that is the plastic is a lot less likely to leach into your water, because that is an issue and it affects hormones and it's super problematic. So having that thickness on the water protects it. And Fiji water, this beautiful place on earth, just actually has special, pristine water quality. And that's a whole other topic. I feel like I could do an episode just on water. There is a great book. If you are obsessed with water or curious about water, the more I'm speaking about this, there's a great book called Salt and Water, or Water and Salt, The Essence of Life. It's either Salt and Water or Water and Salt, The Essence of Life. I will put this in the show notes because it speaks to so much what I'm talking about, and even references Fiji in here. So, little bonus tip for you: drink water first thing in the morning when you wake up with lemon in it. First of all, having water first thing in the morning activates your digestive system after the body has been in rest mode. So you want to turn that on. It also assists the body in moving out lymph after you have been lying stagnant for hours. So, really helpful to start your day with lemon water. And FYI, if this is any inspiration to you, wrinkles start with fluid getting stored in the body. Waste that has not been moved gets trapped in certain areas where the muscles are over or underworked, and the water gets lodged there, and that forms wrinkles. So, having water flushing out your system all the time is one of the components of not storing waste and water in your body. I hope this episode has inspired you and served you well, and that you will be radiating beauty through your skin in no time, on demand, because what you eat directly affects your beauty. I'm Lisa Eddy, your host of the Sacred Beauty Lifestyle Podcast, which is now being shared here on YouTube. I hope this episode brought you insights and inspiration to radiate and shine with confidence. Remember to subscribe so you receive new episodes hot off the press right when they are released. And follow me on Instagram for more juicy tips at I am Lisa Eddy. Also, ladies and gentlemen, when you subscribe, like, and share these episodes, it helps me to get seen by more people. And that means a lot to me because I am committed to reaching millions of women across the globe and waking them up to the sacred beauty lifestyle, owning their true power and beauty, both inside and out. Now, more than ever, we need more women shining instead of hiding. When we band together, we are unstoppable. This is how we change the world, together. Remember the sacred beauty lifestyle and get on out there and shine. The world needs your light.